'Tis the season for the fun stuff, right? Food, family, and friends, not holiday debt. Black Friday is just a week away, and the hard-to-resist sales are already coming in. I'm sure you're seeing them on your social media feeds. Still, Target is seeing some signs that folks are cutting down on their spending this year. The company saying this week that sales during the final quarter of the year will be flat, and so it's lowered its profit forecast, which sent Target shares plunging this week. Its worst trading day Wednesday in more than 2 years. Here now, personal finance expert Ted Jenkin, president of Exit Stage Left Advisors. So here we are, less than a week from Thanksgiving, and people are thinking about, where am I going to spend? Where am I going to save? What's your best piece of advice as we start to wrap our mind around holiday shopping and gifts?
Well, good morning, Marnie. And the very simple advice here is don't buy what you can't afford. Now, that sounds simple, but it's not that easy in practice. And if you want to make a preemptive strike, start to raise some money. How do you do that? Well, Marnie, a lot of people are sitting on gift cards from Christmas past or 2 holidays ago that they haven't used. So sell those unwanted gift cards at giftcash.com or cardcash.com. You can sell them for 80 to 90 cents on the dollar and raise cold, hard cash. And you know, Marnie, I also have this theory that if you don't wear something in your closet for a year or 2 years, you probably aren't going to wear it. So maybe you can sign those clothes and sell them too at a place like Poshmark or ThredUp. That's a way to put some dollars in your pocket, preemptively strike this credit card debt before you start shopping this holiday season.
The other piece of advice here, perform plastic surgery. What does that mean?
Yeah, well, look, I'm not an advocate of saying cancel your credit cards because it could hurt your FICO score. But if you have 4, 5, 6 credit cards in your wallet, boy, that is temptation, Marcy. You're going to want to be able to spend that money, aren't you? So what I'm recommending is cut up a bunch of those credit cards, Marnie, and then that way you're not spending all that money during the holidays. It's temptation.
All right, that makes sense. You also say set up spending limits. What might that look like, Ted?
Well, listen, you know, you can only afford what's in your bank account. That's how you don't get in credit card debt. So if your limit is $1,000 for your whole family, set it at that. If it's $2,000, set it at that. What I would avoid most is not taking those store cards where they offer you 10% or 20% off because the interest rates are incredible. And don't get susceptible to doing buy now, pay later, because you are going to pay later dearly if you spend that way.
Another thing that caught my attention on your list was use a 24-hour rule for bigger purchases. So I'm thinking electronics, or I mean, maybe even something bigger than that, like a car. What does this look like?
Hey, look, just in general, Amazon's the biggest retailer out there. So many people just go online, and when your credit card is stored, it's very simple to click buy now. So what I'm recommending is if you're spending $500 or $1,000 even, just put it in the cart for 24 hours. Don't make that impulse spend, and then 24 hours later, if you still want to buy it, then you buy the merchandise at that time. But that's what gets people is the impulse spending.
Yeah, I'm notorious for putting things in the cart and then forgetting about them. And then the company then reaches out to you and go, hey, you have some things in your cart. Do you want to buy these? And then you're like, oh, no, I've moved on. So, yeah, there's some sense to that. With Target anticipating slow holiday sales this season, Ted, what does that say about consumer sentiment and how people are feeling going into this season?
I think, Marnie, people are shopping, especially middle-class Americans, very carefully this holiday season due to the crippling effects of inflation over the last 4 years. What we're seeing and why Target is slumping right now is, quite frankly, even people that make $100,000 have become value-conscious shoppers. So that's why Walmart is surging. It's why Target is slumping. In addition, a lot of people are doing curbside pickup at places like Target. That means they don't actually go into the store. That's where Target gets you with those impulse purchases you wouldn't make if you're doing a curbside pickup.
And does a slow season for Target mean that they're going to lower prices to entice you to come in, or does it mean they might not make their bottom line, so they're going to raise prices? How does this translate?
Well, we've already seen that the guidance is weak right now, but how do you get prices to come down? Yes, it's all about supply and demand. So if people don't shop there, I believe they will lower prices for Americans to get people back in the store.
What are some big Black Friday deals, Ted, that you have been following? Anything that we should keep our eye on and put in our cart for 24 hours?
Listen, it's all about the electronics. It was last year and it was this year. So anything, TVs, tablets, phones, anything like that is going to be a huge value, not only on Black Friday, but on Cyber Monday.
All right. There are savings to be had, but be smart about it. Ted Jenkin, thank you so much, and happy holidays to you.
You too, Marnie. Thanks.
So thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.